Episode.
Wow.
I screwed that up. And welcome to episode 511 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian. And this is the only podcast that says,
Hey everyone, there's a shit cloud coming. Run for your lives.
Nice.
How are you, sir? Because apparently I don't know how the fucking show opens.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
What's going on?
Oh, same old jazz.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know, you work, get my ass kicked.
Did you work today?
No, I didn't work today, thank God.
That's good.
Yeah. I sell my soul Monday through Friday so I can enjoy Saturday and Sunday.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I do have a 3-day week next week. I'm taking Thursday and Friday off, so I'll feel a little better. But I'm ready for it. Like, I'm just getting my ass beat at work.
Really?
Yeah, it's just been one of those weeks.
Yeah.
And then I find that I'm getting a new supervisor, so that's the whole.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's a thing of like. Because with what I do, like I work in a call center, so like my calls get monitored and stuff,
Right.
And like my supervisor's at a point where like she knows, like when she listens to my calls, like we had this are called breakout sessions, and so it's like I'm in a meeting with like 3 other employees, at my level, like on my team, and my supervisor. And we listen to each other's calls.
Right.
And we grade.
Yeah.
And so they're listening to my call. And it's an escalated call, so I'm talking to the member. And within 30 seconds, I figured out what needed to be done.
Okay.
And the person's still yapping away. And meanwhile, I've already started doing what needs to be done to fix the problem.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then they stop, and there's a good 2 or 3 second pause. And then they go, "Are you still there?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm still here." And then I tell them, this is how I'm fixing the problem.
Uh-huh.
So within 30 seconds, I had stopped listening to this person, essentially.
Right.
And just started getting to work on, okay, I know what I need to do to fix this.
Sure.
So I fixed the problem. Everything's fine. Bing, bang, boom. Technically, this is a perfect call. However, because there was that 3-second pause, and the person I was speaking to had to go like, "Are you still there?" They're like, "Well, that's a point deduction. That's you weren't paying attention." And my supervisor's like, "Well, you got to know Sean." My supervisor's at the point, like, the second I saw him start going into stuff, I knew he had figured out the problem. And he was taking the steps that he stopped listening to that person. She knew.
Yeah.
And like I ended up getting the point deduction anyway because they were like, "Well, still, Sean, you really should pay attention to what they're saying." But they said nothing. Like, that's my defense. They said nothing I needed after this first 30 seconds.
Right.
They talked for another 2 minutes, and in those 2 minutes, they said nothing I needed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So why?
Right.
Like, I get your point. Like, yeah, you're supposed to sound engaged, and I was engaged, but I was engaged my own way because I'm fixing the fucking problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like that type of thing. Like when somebody like knows you enough that they're like they would have let that slide if they were grading that call because they knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
So now I got to break in a new person who's got to like understand. Me, the way I do things, the way I handle myself, my temperament on the phone, because I'm very monotone, very business-like, very, like, I'm not going to get emotionally involved in your call. I'm sorry.
Right. Right.
I and, like, people hate that. Like, they fight me on it at first until they realize it works. This is what works for me.
Yeah.
And I'm really fucking good at what I do.
Yeah.
If you just leave me be, don't try to hold my hand. You don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't need you IMing me every 3 minutes. Just let me handle my business.
Yeah.
And you and I will get along fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it takes forever to get a new supervisor to that point.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they think, oh, well, I could, Sean, you need to do things this way. You need to sound more friendly and approachable. And you know, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, as long as I get the job done, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, friendly, like, the question I always get when I hate talking about work like this, but, like, the question, like, somebody asked me one time was, like, if you were on the other side of that phone and you were talking to you or somebody like you, would you be satisfied with how that was handled? I'm like, yes, because I just want you to get the job done.
Yeah.
I just want you to give me answers.
Right.
I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let's see what we can do to fix that for you. No. Hey, let me see what I can do to fix that. Like, I'm down to business.
Right.
And in all honesty, that's what I want when I call customer service. I don't want your bullshit.
Right.
I just want you to fix my fucking problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's like that question backfires because that's what I truly want. You know, don't give me your platitudes. Don't give me your, I'm so sorry this is happening. Just fix my fucking problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's move on with our day. You know, so I'm not looking forward to that either. That'll be.
You get through it.
I'll get through it. I've done it before, but it's that thing of like breaking somebody in, for lack of a better term.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I can't wait. Like, 3-day work week. Just get through Wednesday and then I can relax.
Hopefully you can.
Yeah, I can. I will. Me and Sabine will relax.
I'm sure.
Other than that, I wasn't much else, anything going on. No. I caught up. I watched the last 3 episodes. I was 3 episodes behind. I watched them today, the last 3 episodes of Last of Us.
No, I didn't. Oh, okay, yeah. I finished that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I thought it was really well done. Like, as somebody who didn't play the game, I don't know if this is where the first game leaves off. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm just watching it as a viewer, not somebody who's played the game. So I have no background information on this.
Right.
I always liked throughout the series, as somebody who has played video games.
Yeah.
Especially those types of video games. Like, there were moments I recognized, like, that felt very video game-ish.
Yeah.
Like, like in the last episode, he's like, okay, I'm going to give you a boost and you're going to send down that ladder to me. Like, that felt like, okay, now I've got to press the X button to make the boost. I could see that as part of, like a video game and stuff, There were other moments, especially like in the first episode, like when they were like ducking the lights and everything. Like, that felt very video game-ish.
I thought that when they got in the car.
Yeah.
In the first couple episodes, that felt very video game-ish.
Yeah, like in the first episode, like when shit was going down and he was still with his daughter and his brother.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that felt very video game-ish. Like the way it was shot and everything. I was like, oh shit, this is,
Right.
So like there was a lot of things that like, and I like that aspect of it because it's like it's kind of paying homage to the genre the story came from.
Right.
Like I remember like watching like Uncharted, that movie, which based on a video game.
Yeah.
And there were moments I was like, oh, that feels like it's straight out of the video game.
Yeah.
Like, I can see, okay, I've got to hit the X button to jump from one netting to another netting to another. I could see me doing that. So that felt very video game-ish, stuff like that. So I like when they like pay like little homages like that. I thought it was just very well done.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty.
I mean, you expect that from HBO, but like, it's that weird thing of like taking a video game and making it into a story.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, like especially video games nowadays, like they are very, 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 very story driven for the most part. Like there's no like Pac-Mans that are being made anymore.
Right, right.
Yeah, every kind of story driven. But it's like interesting, like how do you take that story and translate it? And I don't know how much of a literal adaptation this is as compared to like when we watched Game of Thrones, like there was shit that was like, well, that wasn't in the book, or you know, that person's supposed to be this person, and then you know there was shit that you were just like, well, this is, you know. So I don't know how much of it is in the video game, how much isn't in the video game, as far as like the Joel and Ellie story.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
I played it, but I just
I
don't know why.
So
I guess it didn't leave that much of a lasting impression.
And there's an odd thing where I do have the game, I just never played it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I thought like, well, maybe this will. I don't know. Like maybe I'll play
it like between shows, you know.
Yeah, between seasons. Yeah. So, but I did enjoy like the overall story. I liked. Pedro Pascal, fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, Bella Ramsey was fantastic. Like and I expect a high level when it's an HBO show. Like I just expect that.
Yeah.
You know, that's they've set a high bar for their stuff.
They've
already.
done it for years.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, they're probably the first, you know.
Well, they were the first premium service to offer original content like that.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You know, so I mean, they have a high bar that they've set for a very long time. So, like, I didn't want to go in with high expectations, but I had them just because of, you know, because it's HBO. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic 9 episodes. It's just, my only problem was, like, I got 3 episodes behind because it's kind of like that, well, there was something else I was doing on a month. Like, Sundays, I'm like, you know, that's when I set up the podcast, and so I don't usually, unless it's like a Steeler game, like I'm not, you know, watching TV while I post a podcast. I kind of focus on what I'm doing so I can get it done as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So usually I would watch it on Mondays, and then something would come up on a Monday where I was like, oh, okay, you know, well, I'm not going to watch it today. I'll catch it sometime this week. And just never did. So I kind of fell behind. It was no fault of the show. It was more of a fault of my own.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But what did you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
She was amazing. The show was driven. It kept moving. You know?
Yeah.
I loved it. I think I could have done with a little bit more monsters, you know, in a sense.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more of that struggle.
Right,
You know
but
what I mean?
at the same time, like they made like an interesting comment early on in that show where, you know, they need to be in more populated areas.
Yeah.
So the less populated an area, plus, I mean, a lot of this took place in the winter.
Yeah,
So
I get all that.
Right.
I
So
understand
once they kind of got into like Wyoming and stuff, like there was less of,
Right.
you know, they're not going to show up.
Right.
Like it's kind of like the perfect place to be, except for the fact that, you know, winter's fucking brutal.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. But I mean, outside of that, like you know, they kind of set up the world in a way that you could understand why the monsters aren't as populous like those last 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I just want to see more.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. Like you're right. Like I would like to have seen more.
Yeah. I mean, I get it's a human story.
Right.
I understand that. We've been that through The Walking Dead. I get it.
Right.
I mean, I know. But I still want to see more of these creations. What's
Yeah.
happening? What's lurking? What's the anxiety of running through a sewer line? And you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I want to see them.
Yeah.
So, anyway. But that's just my take on it.
Okay.
Caught up on Picard.
Ooh.
Another good episode.
Oh. Dude. one of the best things I've ever seen. And like at first I wanted to blast it because it's Star Trek, and I'm like, oh, Star Trek fucked this up. But at the same time, it was just so fucking cool, I let it go. And that's when the cell of the Intrepid is on fire.
Yeah.
Like, it's in space. It can't be on fire. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Like, how could Star Trek fuck that up? But it looked so cool, and especially as the Intrepid was rising back up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that moment where she fell because of but she was rising back up. I was just like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, like a monster. Like you took your best shot at the monster, and it's still coming. Like, oh, fuck. That was badass.
Yeah, it was good.
I will let it slide now. You know.
It's a good episode, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm digging the kid. I like that character.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of questions still remain.
Oh, there's a lot of questions that still remain, but I mean, like,
so good. I mean, why couldn't season 2 have been like this?
I know, it's like season 2 is such a bummer. Even more so because this season has been so fucking good.
Yeah. Like, they're doing it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Killer. So.
I mean, and there's so much of, like, previous Trek, like, Trek lore is being brought into this.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, that moment where Shaw, Picard, and Riker are on that elevator going down to meet Ro from the shuttle.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you know, we have saved the galaxy several times. He's like, oh yeah, there's also that time you belly flopped the saucer section of the D into a planet, and there's the time you brought the Prime Directive so you can get some nookie from a native girl. Like roasted them.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, those were the days. You know, like, it was like hysterical. Like, I want a Captain Shaw show.
All right.
Yeah, like I love this guy.
Yeah. He's a good actor.
And I love, like he's stuck in a position of, like, he wants none of this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he wants none of it at all. And, like, that moment where, like, Riker and Picard are telling Shaw, we have to run. We have to. Right now, we have to run. And he's like, it's, you know, like, he's, like, stuck. Because, it goes against everything he believes in.
Right.
You know, but yet he's like, fuck it, I gotta do it, because otherwise, you know, like, so it's like, his character has been very interesting from that standpoint to me of, like, not only is he, like, kind of a dick, but there's a reason he's a dick, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and, like, in this episode in particular, like, I mean, you know, last episode, we talked about the Battle of, you know, War 387, like, and that shit, you're just like, oh, wow, man, you know, that went deep. But this is, like, he's just having that moment of conflict of, like, you know, you're telling me to go against Starfleet. Everything I believe in, you're telling me has been compromised right now.
Right.
Why should I believe that until that they're getting ready to be shot at? And he's like, fuck it, I gotta go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great show. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This season, and I mean, Raffi and Worf.
Oh, man.
And the guy who played the Vulcan that they were dealing with, Kurt Alvarado, I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
He's like one of those guys, like, he shows up and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I'm going to get a good performance.
Like Lee Pace.
Like Lee Pace. But because Lee Pace is more of like he's becoming a bit more of a star.
Okay.
But, like, this is like, I refer to him as that guys. Because they're guys that you're like, you look at him and go, I know that guy. I've seen him in a bunch of shit, but I don't know his name.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's a character actor. He does. When I saw him show up as a Vulcan, I'm like, oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna see where this goes. You know, because I like him as an actor.
Yeah.
So,
He was good.
He was very good.
Yeah, I dug him.
It's like, yeah, the whole thing, like the way that everything's kind of, the pieces of the puzzle were falling together, I like a lot.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like Worf's handler was Ro.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that Ro Lauren was in this episode was like, because like old school, like Next Generation, like she was one of my favorite characters because she was the first character that was kind of like, you know, what Starfleet says isn't always right.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was like one of those things where it was like, and when she betrayed Picard and she joined the Maquis and everything else, it was like, oh shit, that's, you know, so she was like always an interesting character to me.
Yeah.
Because of like what her story was. So like to have her come back and be like that person, I was like, oh, like, I was bummed when she, spoiler alert, when she got bumped off. Like, you know, like I was like, oh man, I was hoping to get more of her because I like that character so much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like that piece of that puzzle was like, well, who was Worf reporting to? Well, it was Ro Lauren. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good stuff. I've been very happy with every single episode this season.
It's been especially, it's cool to see Picard get nasty. Like, not you know what I mean? Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the Picard way.
Yeah.
I mean, especially that conversation between her and him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, man, I was like, come on, dude. Let it out.
Yeah.
Man, it was good.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, everything about these episodes has been good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if they had another season like this, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's been so damn good.
Yeah.
So impressive.
Yeah. Like, crazy. Really impressed with Riker, too.
Yeah.
Man. And it also is directing.
Yeah. He's directed a number of episodes this season. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking just real good. Anyway. So I watched Andor.
Okay.
Finished that.
You did. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of that?
It took me a while to get through it, but
it's a slow burn, very slow boil.
But the last 5 episodes, I'd say,
yeah,
didn't take me long. I mean,
yeah,
I was into them.
Yeah, yeah,
like completely.
It was a slow boil, but
Yeah.
once it was worth it to get to where you needed to go.
Yeah, man, it was wow, like really good.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's very different.
Yeah, it is different, but it's. I like the story that they were telling.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, but I also like the different aspects. Like, it's like the Empire as we know it is like this galactic empire controlled by space wizards.
Yeah.
You know, but in reality, it's a massive bureaucracy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got like that look into that massive bureaucracy with like everything that's going on, and like there was so much to it that I just like appreciated like a different aspect of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Like even like I was excited for the Mandalorian because I thought like, okay, we're getting away from Jedi stuff. We're getting and the first thing you see is fucking Grogu. And you're just like, motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah.
You know. But it's been fine. But this is not force reliant. This isn't like relying on like ancient, like anything. Like this is like just like it's more human.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
Yeah, yeah.
Like everything about it, like from Mon Mothma and her struggle to the guy who Skarsgård, like his character, to Andor himself, like plus the chick with Imperial security and all of that. Like it was like really like a very interesting, different take on what took place in this universe, and it's kind of what you need if you're going to go back to that time period. You kind of need something different than what we've seen. And this is very different from what we've seen.
Oh, yeah. Much different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I dug it. I really liked it.
Like that speech that Skarsgård gives.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, what if I sacrificed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's... I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I like how you can... I like the underbelly of it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was the most pleasing thing to me was that underbelly, what's going on.
Yeah, the Republic, the beginnings of the rebellion weren't, you know...
Gold.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people died. A
Yeah.
lot of people... And
A lot of people were murdered.
well, yeah, and
Yeah.
it showed a lot of, like... Not just that, but it showed a lot of people, like, being sacrificed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I get,
Yeah.
but it's not as clean-cut rebellion as you think it is.
This pristine, white...
Yeah, exactly.
You know, no, there's blood on your hands.
Yeah, for sure. Let's not even talk about the Mandalorian. You want to get a flip side of the Republic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Which
I
this
don't
episode...
I don't like the Republic anymore.
Which this episode felt very Andorish.
Yeah, it fit in very well.
Yeah.
It was almost like it was planned.
Like, it was bookended with the Mandalorian stuff.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And, like, there's a part of me like, man, this episode kind of sucked because what I wanted I didn't get, except for, like, 5 minutes at the beginning and 5 minutes at the end.
Yeah.
But in the middle, as I sat back and I kind of reevaluated, I'm like, it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, we're just telling a story.
But they're also setting things up, it feels like. Like Moff Gideon's coming back. Moff Gideon got away.
Yeah.
You know, who is this chick working for? Is she
Yeah.
working for Gideon? And, like, making sure, like, Dr. Pressing's mind gets completely white because of the secrets he knows?
Yeah.
You know, like, what all is involved? Like, what is going on?
Right.
You know, so, like, there is a mystery to that is interesting that I feel is going to tie back in because, if anything, Moff Gideon is going to come back and he's going to come for Grogu.
Yeah.
You know, whatever he was trying to do. And it's clear, like, you know, cloning and experimentation is involved with that.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of interesting stuff. Like, I was just like, at first I was bummed because it's not what I wanted. But after I kind of sat back and reevaluated, I'm like, yeah, it was still a good episode. It just gave me some different information I'm probably going to need at some point down the line.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, the dog fight at the beginning, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the way it ended, you know,
Yeah.
like it's this weird thing, like what does Bo-Katan think?
Yeah.
Because she hasn't taken her helmet off. She hasn't taken her helmet off since he saw the mythosaur.
Right.
You know, and it's like,
Maybe she's changing up a little bit
right,
because of that.
right. But it's like, but what is she thinking?
Right.
Because I know the character well enough from Clone Wars and from Rebels that it's like, okay, you know, this isn't you,
Yeah.
but yet it could. Like, I could see what I'd be like. The thing you've been taught all your life, like the religion that you've believed in,
Right.
was mythology,
Right.
and now you've seen the first piece.
You've seen proof of that mythology.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, it would probably shake you to your core. You know. So.
I like how they were all welcoming when he came in. And
Yeah,
he proved
everybody-
his worth. They were like, hey.
Everybody except for Paz Vizsla.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He fucking hates.
Well, not only that, but like again, like his ancestry. Bo-Katan worked with his, like, I think, father. Like, his father led the Night Watch, which was a rebellion on Mandalore
Yeah.
to try to go back to the old ways. Like, Bo-Katan's sister, Duchess Satine, was trying to take Mandalore forward. And he was trying to take them back to their warrior ways. And that's where the conflict was. And, you know, and he held the lightsaber.
Yeah.
You know, so like, there's a lot of, like, interesting aspects to that whole thing. And then, you know, her turn later on. There's a lot of good stuff to it all. It's very interesting. I said, like there's a lot, like what's he thinking? Like, you know, Bo-Katan Kryze is back. Yeah. You know, she's partially responsible for the death of my father or grandfather, whichever it may be. Mm. You know, my family and her. You know, there's clearly a conflict within the families. You know, I'll be interested to see how that all plays out.
This is cool, though.
And also, the thing people are going crazy about, the episode before, how well she could use the Darksaber, but Mando can't.
Yeah, she struggled a little bit with it.
Not that much. And the reason is, she's clear on her mission.
I see.
Mando doesn't know. Like, because she wants to rule Mandalore. Like, she wants to bring, you know, like, that's what she wants. That's her birthright. So she's dead fast in that. And so when she picked up the Darksaber, she could wield it easily. Mm. Where Mando struggles and it's heavy to him because he doesn't have a clear sight on what his purpose is.
Yeah. Wonder what his purpose is.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, he doesn't want to rule Mandalore. He doesn't want to be the head.
Right.
But yet, if you hold a Darksaber, that's your right.
Right.
So, like, that's where his struggle really is he holds this blade that he really doesn't want, and no one will take from him unless it's in combat.
Right.
You know, you just can't give it over, because that's how Bo-Katan initially got it. Sabine Wren gave her the Darksaber.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I'm not meant to rule Mandalore, but you are. And that's when Bo had it, and she lost it. So, like, there's a lot of, like, interesting, like, interplay that comes into all this, and I'm just like... And what I'm going to do... Because you said you're struggling. You started watching the Clone Wars, but you're struggling with the cheesiness of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go through it. I'm going to have to find the key point episodes that you need to watch.
Yeah, because the freaking Roger and shit like that, I just can't. I can't.
Right.
I just cannot. I can't stand those droids.
Yeah.
I can't stand their communication.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, I get it.
I like them when they become a little bit bigger, like bigger weapons, like this. You know what I mean? But even then, it was dumb. But even then, when they answered the phone, they pulled the old Solo thing in the Death Star trick, and I'm like, Jesus, I can't. I cannot. I can't.
But like that first episode, like the one with Yoda and the clone troopers.
Yeah.
That was a dark episode. That was really well done.
Yeah.
You know, like, so there are, like, I get your point, because the thing you got to remember is it is a kid's show.
No, I know.
You know.
I get it.
Right. So I get your point, but I'm going to have to go through, and I'll just have to, like, find the key point episodes that you really should watch to kind of understand things a little bit. And
right. Because, I mean, to me, that's what, to me, in a sense, that's what killed those episodes, the movies.
Yeah.
Like, the droids became the comedic relief.
Right.
To this huge extent.
Yeah.
Every time they were on screen, they had a line.
Yeah.
And it just became like, man, this is stupid.
Yeah.
You know? Now, when the droids became bigger, like the rollers and stuff like that, awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it was the little ones that he focused on.
Right.
You know?
Like, especially in the first movie.
Yeah. It was just... Yeah. Did C-3PO's head going on one?
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
It was just dumb.
Yeah, so I'll have to go through. I'll have to look, and I'll make a list of like the key point episodes, so you can understand like what's going on with Mandalore.
I even like the look of Grievous. I thought he was amazing.
Yeah.
Sound, the way he moved, everything about him.
Yeah.
You know? But, then he takes his anger out on one of the droids. It's always the droid. And that's what bothers me.
Yeah.
So, I know what you're saying. I know it's a kid movie, and I get
it. I get your point, too, though. Cause
it's something I despised in the films.
Right. But, like, I look over it because I feel like there's so much better to it. Like, especially when you get into, like, Anakin, when you get into Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And especially, like, Ahsoka's relationship with Anakin.
Sure.
Like, there's a lot to it. And there's a lot that, like, as you watch it, you begin to understand things a little bit better.
Yeah.
Not only with The Mandalorian, but even, like, with the Clone Wars and, like, with Revenge of the Sith and... I guess by the time you get to the end of it, like by the time you get to the end of Clone Wars, and you get to those last 4 or 5 episodes with like Ahsoka and Maul and Order 66, and you're just like, you'll be in tears.
Yeah.
At least I hope so.
Yeah.
Because like I was like, but that's my emotional investment in that character.
Sure.
That character of Ahsoka Tano means so, and it's funny because like I'll never forget. We went and we watched the Clone Wars movie.
Uh-huh.
And they introduced Ahsoka. And we were walking out, and Nancy's like, I really like that Snips. She's funny. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to see how she dies.
Nice.
And like, because like, I was like, oh, I don't need some little child, like, companion. Like, no, this isn't necessary. But, man, was I wrong. Because she becomes like one of the best characters ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have to go through and I'll have to pinpoint those, like, these are must-watch episodes so that you can kind of understand things better. And also, like get a deeper appreciation for Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, it's no... I hate to hold this against Hayden Christensen because it's partially his acting. He wasn't very good. It was also partially Lucas's script, which wasn't very good. But you never get, like, the hero that Anakin was in those movies.
Right.
And so his fall doesn't feel as hard. Except against Obi-Wan. Like, because you're like, oh, But when you watch the Clone Wars, like, that relationship between those two, that relationship, like, just like, you realize, like, well, he really was a hero. Like, this fleshes out that character so much.
Yeah.
It makes you appreciate it a little bit more and makes that fall a little harder on the heart.
Yeah.
Now, because it's like, fuck, you were Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
So.
I can.
Yeah, so I'll pinpoint those episodes. And then after that, like, if you want to watch Rebels, which I highly recommend, you'll have to watch it and let me know how you feel. And then if you still feel the same way about that, then I'll find like the key point episodes of that you have to watch. Because there is some stuff going back to Mandalore. There's some Vader shit where you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Sith Temple stuff, and even the fight between Maul and Kenobi. Like, oh, there's some good stuff in there.
The Bad Batch. See, I like that.
Yeah.
But I got into that shit.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a little bit more, like, turned up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Dave Filoni's not writing that for Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Because that's what he was writing Clone Wars for. Clone Wars was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like with Bad Batch, he can turn it up just a little bit. It's not a kid show, but it is a kid show.
Yeah.
So he turned, like, maybe it's meant for like a 13, 14, 15-year-old instead of like the 10-year-old.
Yeah.
So he turns it up a little bit, like, so the stakes are a little higher, the feel of it's a little darker, stuff like that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Right.
But I will. I'll go. I'll start doing that tonight or tomorrow. I'll start like going through and like, okay, you gotta watch this episode. You gotta watch this one. You know.
Yeah.
So, because there is some good stuff in there that you will appreciate.
Okay.
So, I saw this article. It made me laugh. We're both men. We both love a good wing.
Yeah.
I will be honest. I prefer the boneless wing.
Okay.
Because I'm lazy. I don't want to have to fight for my meat.
Okay.
You know, I've been eating wings for years, and the second I found out about boneless wings, I thought, well, this is amazing. And that's what I went for. Now, I'm a relatively smart man. I know there is no magical machine stripping the meat off of the wing and then packaging it together to making a boneless wing.
Okay.
This magical machine does not exist.
Okay.
Clearly, it's probably just breast meat that's being cut up and then formed and battered or breaded or whatever, and then sauced, But apparently, Buffalo Wild Wings is being sued by a Chicago man because their wings are breast meat. This person feels so. When a restaurant fries up a chunk of chicken breast, covers it in buffalo sauce, and calls it a wing, it is a harmless little issue of semantics or customer fraud. Aiden Halame of Chicago filed a lawsuit against Buffalo Wild Wings on Friday, saying he went into the Buffalo Wild Wings location in Mount Prospect, Illinois, back in January and ordered boneless wings. Unbeknownst to plaintiff and other consumers, the products are not wings at all, but instead slices of chicken breast meat, deep fried like wings, the lawsuit reads. Indeed, the products are more akin in composition to a chicken nugget rather than a chicken wing. This is a clear-cut case of false advertising. Should not be permitted, as customers should be able to rely on the plain meaning of a product's name and receive what they are promised according to the lawsuit. So, Buffalo Wild Wings tweeted in defiance, "It's true. Our boneless wings are all white meat chicken. Our hamburgers contain no ham. Our buffalo wings are 0% buffalo." So, do you think this is a frivolous lawsuit, or do you think this guy has a point?
I don't think he has a point.
The only thing I could say is, I haven't looked at the menu in quite some time, so I don't know. But I don't believe they do tell you it's chicken breast. They just say it's boneless wings.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like as a reasonably smart person, you have to realize that that's not wing meat you're getting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the whole lawsuit is frivolous. I think it's stupid.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Okay.
I mean, are you going to sue McDonald's because there's no shamrocks in the Shamrock Shake?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
It just doesn't. It's just so stupid. It's just. This is what we focus on. This is what America focuses on.
Yeah.
So a good example. Right.
No, I agree, but it's like an odd thing of like. I feel like it's frivolous just from the fact that if you were if you're ordering boneless wings and expecting it to be wing meat, then you're an idiot.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that was the case at all. I don't.
Right.
If he's smart enough to get a lawyer and file a lawsuit, he's smart enough to figure out that that's not wing meat.
Right.
Everybody in this God-given earth knows what a boneless wing is.
Right. I agree.
What I'm saying is, like, he's just... I don't know what his point is.
I think his point is they feel it's still considered false advertising because you're saying it's a boneless wing, but you're not putting that predication that it's not actually wing meat you're getting. It's breast meat with the, I
It goes back to the Addams family, right?
Right.
Listen,
Okay.
all right. Are they made from real Girl Scouts?
Yeah. Right. I agree with you.
What I mean? Like,
I agree with you. Like, I feel like it's frivolous just from the fact that, like, I feel like this is one of the situations that's going to be like the woman in the 80s who sued McDonald's for like $1 million because the coffee burned her.
yeah.
Because nobody told her it was that hot.
Right.
So now we have to have that warning on every cup.
Right.
It says that this is a hot product.
Right.
Dumb.
Dumb.
It's dumb. Like, that's the expectation. It's supposed to be hot. It's fucking coffee.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but that's why I think this guy has a case, and I think he's going to win, because if it's being advertised as a boneless wing, then your expectation should be you get a boneless wing.
It should be thrown out of court.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying, like, from a legal standpoint, if they're not telling you what if they're saying it's a boneless wing and not letting you know it's actually breast meat, the guy has a case. Like, a lawyer would, unless they're an ambulance chaser, which it very well may have been. Like, I don't see why a lawyer would take on this case. Like, I feel like it's that stupid thing that this is somebody's going to win money over because of, like, their own idiocracy.
Right. But if that same person would have taken that own if he would have taken the same exertion into this boneless wing matter, he could have taken it to such a higher level on more important things.
Right.
Like the red slime that
Right.
we give our children in schools.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
For instance.
Right.
I mean, it's shit like that. That's what bothers me. He's like, oh, I'm here to prove a point. No. Prove a point that makes a difference. Don't prove a point that nobody gives a fuck about.
I mean,
Do you know what I mean?
It's like, I'm suing McDonald's because, the McRib isn't really rib meat.
Exactly. No one knows what that meat is.
No.
That's fucking a Chiota special.
That is a mystery meat if I have ever heard of it. Yes.
It was on the Chiota's menu before McDonald's had it.
Yeah. Chiota's a part. It's not there anymore. But yeah.
And you didn't know what you were getting.
No, you had no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what that shit was. I don't even the chef knew.
So, yeah, I don't know. People seem to be taking up fights that are just like frivolous.
I agree. Like, I agree with you. It's a frivolous lawsuit that just out of stupidity should be knocked out of court. But it's like that thing of like, man, I got a bad feeling this guy's gonna win. And I'm not one to like, let me root for Buffalo Wild Wings, let me root for the big corporate giant. But in this case, I kind of am.
Yeah, but it's our dollars that are going to this fucking lawsuit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In a minuscule term, but it's still
Right.
our money.
Right.
Might be pennies on the dollar, but it's still our money.
Right.
Going into the system for useless.
But like at the end of the question I ask is like, okay, at the end of the day, like, what do you expect to win out of that? Like, what are you? And it wasn't explained in the article because I read the article thoroughly.
Yeah.
Like, I was very invested in this, and I'll be following this case.
Yeah.
Again, there are much more important things happening in this world, but I am going to be very invested in this case.
Yeah.
But it's like what? Okay, so even if you win, like, what are your damages? Like, what damage was done to you?
That's what I mean.
Like,
it was no damage.
Like, it's not like, yeah, we say it's boneless wings, but you ate people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You still got a chicken product. Like, even if you're right and you're found, like, what are the damages? Like, what were you emotionally damaged because you didn't get wing? You got breast? Like I don't. Like, that's at least the lady with the coffee. Like, I could see where she could sue for damages because she got burned.
Right.
As ridiculous as that lawsuit was, Like, this is even more so because I don't see where you can get your damages. Like my emotional, like I had emotional damage because I didn't get to eat a wing.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Stupid. I hear you.
Like, the only thing I can see it changing is they have to put it on the menu.
Right.
You know, boneless wings made with breast meat.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the major, but like, this will be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Maybe it'll go class action because, you know, I've eaten boneless wings at Buffalo Wild Wings, and damn it, I've been emotionally damaged because I'm now finding out it was breast milk meat, not like
breast milk.
Breast milk, yeah.
That's what they batter it with.
The old nursemaid back there.
Big titties in the back.
Yeah.
Cracking eggs in the bowl.
Oh, no hairnet.
Nah, nothing. Bring the breadcrumbs. I'm almost out. Susie, you ready?
Yeah. I'm tapped out for the day.
Yeah. Get some OJ.
I got a pump right there, just pumping it right into the vat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, that's a lawsuit.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Not this.
No.
Work at 9 to 5, milking again.
Yeah.
Customers just seem to love it.
It's got a real twang I can't put my finger on.
Yuck. Anyway.
So it is some of the weirdest news I've seen in quite some time. So earlier this week, there was an announcement. It was in Variety. Willow has been canceled.
Really?
Really? I was pissed.
Yeah.
Very upset with this news. And then yesterday, there's another article. And this is creator John Kasdan has taken issue with the framing of the TV sequel series Fate as canceled. Instead, feels confident the saga will continue someday. Addressing news reports that Disney Plus series was canceled after one season, Kasdan countered in a series of tweets, "I feel fairly confident that if asked, neither I nor the folks at Lucasfilm would or have characterized it quite that way. Instead," he says, the truth is less splashy. That last week, the main cast was released from their options so that they may pursue other work in the coming year. As he pointed out, due to forces much larger and more intricate than I would ever pretend to fully understand, production on streaming shows is slowing down industry-wide, and Willow, for one, won't resume filming for the next 12 months. Kasdan said that he and his creative team have already developed and written what we hope is a mind-meltingly fun, richer, darker, and better Volume 2 about courage, desire, acceptance, and the comedy and beauty to be found in even the deepest places and moments. But are we going into pre-production on Season 2? Not right now. Does that mean we are never going to make it? Absolutely not. Kasdan went on the site Curb Your Enthusiasm, Atlanta Party Down, and of course the 1998 Willow feature film itself as properties that resumed their storytelling after years-long breaks. Perhaps one thing Hollywood has consistently been great at is servicing the appetites no matter how obscure as consumers, he said, and I have total confidence that if an appetite for more Willow persists, Lucasfilm, Disney, and this amazing cast and crew will satisfy it. So, kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like Vanity or Variety, like this place comes on and says, yeah, that fucker's been canceled. But yet it's that they're just releasing the actors from contracts because they don't know when they're going to be in production on season 2.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make me hopeful at all.
Right. A little strange, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't you?
Yeah. Because, I mean, it took two... Now, maybe it won't take as long once you gear up for season 2.
Right.
Because you don't have to go through all the casting. Maybe just some minor casting.
Yeah.
For, but, you already have your main cast.
Right.
But it is that weird thing of, yeah, we've got the script written, but we don't know what's going to take place. We don't know where we're going to start.
Weird.
Yeah. Which is surprising because, I mean, I feel like it did very well with Disney. I mean, everything I saw, very few people were, knocking it. And the people who were knocking it, I felt, the few that were knocking it were, it's that thing of, this was definitely written for you and I.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even with, this was definitely written for Gen X still. It still felt that way.
Yeah.
Even with the new cast and the new intricacies and everything else, it still felt very much like we're writing this for the people who saw the movie in 1988.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're not on board with that, too bad.
Yeah.
But that's how it felt to me. And that's what I liked about it. It was it felt very much like that movie still.
Right.
Instead of updating it and giving it, it felt like that movie, which is what I loved.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I agree with you. I was transported right back into that world again.
Yeah.
And that's what it was meant to do.
So, I felt like it from a review standpoint, and the only problem is I don't know how, because Disney doesn't release those numbers, so I don't know how well it did from a number standpoint. But I felt at least the circle of people I follow, on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that, there was a large group of people who were very into that show.
Oh yeah. I loved it.
Yeah.
So, that sucks.
I think it's one of the better things that's come around in a long time.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I look forward to that next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
I like the cast. I like the story. I like the characters. There was nothing I didn't care for about that show.
Yeah.
Even the way it wrapped up, I thought, I'm very good with that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Disney pulled the old Netflix move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really felt that way.
It really pulled its ears out, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It really did. I was really bummed out. I thought wow, that seems harsh.
Yeah.
Especially with that tease at the end of the last episode where you see there's volume 2 and volume 3.
Yeah.
It's oh shit, okay. That means it's been you wouldn't put that in if it hadn't been renewed. I can't imagine Disney being that was a really bold move. We maybe want to take that out.
Yeah.
This might not be the best thing to have at the end of the show.
Pen out Willow, pen in Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah. Exactly.
New DuckTales in.
Yeah.
New Tailspin in. I don't know. It's Disney, so.
Yeah.
They haven't fucked out. Well, they kind of have fucked with Star Wars a little bit, but.
But, interestingly, the only one that's, really been reoccurring has been The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And you've gotten a new season every year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They haven't fucked around with that. You're not going to get a new season of Stranger Things for another year.
Yeah.
2024 is when we're going to see the finale of Stranger Things. I hate to break that to people. They are going to take their time with that shit. Where with Disney, they with The Mandalorian, they've been very. I mean, when you throw on top of it, you did the Book of Boba Fett, which is like, Mando season 2.5.
Yeah.
So like Disney's done a good job of like getting content out to you like once a year with at least that.
Yeah.
I don't think Loki's doing season 2. But like other than that, like none of the other Marvel shows are set up for second seasons.
No. They're like introductory.
Yeah. Like WandaVision had its job and it did that. Falcon and Winter Soldier, that's set up for now. Captain America, New World Order. Mm-hmm. Loki's the only one. Even a Hawkeye, which I'd love to see a season 2 of Hawkeye. Yeah, well, Jeremy Renner.
He's got a leg off.
Yeah, yeah. We're our thoughts are always with him, but yeah, like that was something they didn't want it. I think they have other plans for, what's her name? Haley Sattenfeld, her character.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't think they have anything. They had any plans for a season 2 of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of like a weird thing. Like Marvel's kind of like done one and done series only.
Yeah.
Even like stuff like Secret War, like that's going to be one and done. I think Iron Wars. I think it's got to change to a movie though.
I think the only way they can rescue Renner and Marvel is if they put him in a suit.
Yeah.
No, really. That's the only way they can. That's the only way they can get away with Renner coming back into Marvel.
Yeah.
Just put him in an Iron Man suit or something to that effect.
Yeah. Didn't Hawkeye lose an arm? Or am I getting my Archer characters confused? I know
I don't remember.
Speedy did in DC. Roy Harper, he lost an arm. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'm getting my Archers confused. But yeah, I don't know. It's a very weird kind of deal.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
I watched. Couldn't find anything to watch last night. Or maybe I just wasn't in the mood for searching.
Mm-hmm.
So I put on Batman.
Which one?
One with the Joker.
Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ellie doesn't remember
it. Dark Knight. The Dark Knight.
Yeah. Ellie didn't remember it.
The Ledger Joker.
Huh?
The Ledger Joker.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She liked him, I think. She did. She's nodding, yes. But it was cool to watch with her because, I've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see her face when, the cell phone went off in the dude's belly and...
Yeah.
What's her name dying and...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. It was cool watching. It was just watching her reaction to it because she didn't remember any of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
That whole interrogation scene between him and don't hit your guy in the head. It makes him all fuzzy.
He was so fucking good.
I'm
not going to go down the rabbit hole.
No.
I'm just saying that he was just so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even his interaction with Harvey Dent in the hospital.
Yeah. Oh, that
fucking believable.
That whole speech, look at me, I don't have a plan.
Right.
Like a dog chasing a car.
Guns up at his head, and he's just still the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So fucking good. He was just so good.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. And I've watched, his movies are good.
Yeah.
Right? They are.
Yeah.
Really good. Even when he was young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Knight's Tale.
Yeah, and that movie with Julia Stiles. That.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
10 Things I Hate About.
Yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just. He was just beyond. Like, he just transcended that character.
Yeah.
To where I just loved it.
Yeah.
I think that's why I love that movie. So I think it's the best Batman movie for me.
It is for me too.
It's the best.
It's the gold standard. Like I'm not denying that. Like people are like, "Oh, I thought you loved the Ledger Joker," and I do, but for different reasons. You know what I mean? Like I'll freely tell you, I think Ledger's Joker is second only to Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
As far as like, especially like you go Batman the Animated Series, or even like the Arkham games. Like Mark Hamill is the Joker. He's the voice in my head of the Joker. But like if you're talking like live action version, then yeah, like I think Ledger's Joker is the gold standard.
Oh man!
But I love Leto's Joker because it's different from Heath, but it makes sense to me from a standpoint of like the comic books,
right?
So
no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I just think
like. I even like Nicholson's Joker. Like, I hate to break it. I do. I like Nicholson's Joker. I just think, I even like Cesar Romero's Joker. Like, I like the Joker. Like, I don't think there's been a bad version. I just think they're very different. And, like, I think Nicholson's Joker feels very much like too much of an homage to Cesar Romero.
Right.
In a lot of ways. Where, like, Heath Ledger's Joker is, like, completely different from... You know what I mean? Like, it's complete... The only thing is, like and the thing I told my dad, like, when you watch the movie, like, you believe that person can't exist. Like, if you walk down the wrong alley, you're running into Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that person could really exist in real life.
Right.
Whereas, like, Leto's Joker, no.
Yeah.
Nicholson's Joker, no. Romero's Joker, no. But, like, his Joker felt like a real person.
Yeah.
That you wanted to, like, uncover the mystery of. Like, other Jokers, I don't. Even the Joker in the comic books, I don't want to know the origin, even though they've given it to us and everything, like, at this point. I don't want to know that. But his Joker, I was like, what makes this person tick?
Yeah.
Because it's not he fell into a vat of chemicals and went insane. He's wearing grease makeup.
Right.
So there's a real person under there. Like, what makes this person tick? And, like, the stories about his father and how he got the scars always changing. Well, what's real? Like,
yeah, right.
So there's so much depth to that character.
Or was he just at the wrong end of a bad crime deal?
Yeah.
And someone did exactly what he did. You know what I mean? Like, cut him. But
or was he, like, in like Afghanistan or something? And, a prisoner of war, and this is what happened to him. And when he came back, wow, let's put a smile on that face. Like what happened to this guy? Like, there's a lot of different.
I love when he tells the stories.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah,
especially when he's talking to what's her name?
Oh yeah,
up in the penthouse.
Up in the penthouse, yeah. When he's yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
So good. Love when he pay. One of my favorite parts about it's so minuscule, but one of my favorite parts about the whole thing is when he picks up the champagne glass and tosses them.
Yeah.
And does that. It's like fucking, it's ingenious to me.
The best part of that is
so good.
And it's like an outtake, but they left it in the movie. Is Michael Caine hadn't seen him in makeup yet.
Okay.
And so when the door opens, that's the first time Michael Caine sees him, and his reaction is real. Like, it's like he was really startled by what he saw. And Nolan was like, well, I've got to leave that in because that's absolutely real. And that's what, would probably really happen. Like, he's not acting at that point.
Right.
And that's, like, brilliant.
I love this. I love Michael Caine's story, too.
Yeah.
About the jungle.
Yeah.
And all the jewels.
Yeah. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's great. That's why, like, what's his name is Alfred, too. I like the different concepts of Alfred. I just felt, and I love Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Because he played the perfect father.
Yeah.
To his son.
Right.
Like, it was unmistakable.
Yeah.
And it was very realistic.
Yeah.
As much as unrealistic it is. But it was very realistic that Michael Caine and Batman's relationship.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne.
Right.
I get it. I understood it. But in the new Batman, that's the Alfred that I wanted. That Alfred. Or even, what's his name?
Jeremy Irons.
Was great as
I would have loved to have seen more. I honestly would. Like, one of the things I'm bummed out that we don't get to see the continuation of the Snyderverse and Affleck as Batman is I would have loved to have seen more of, that Bruce Wayne and that Alfred.
Yeah.
Because that Alfred is almost given up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he is, like, at a point where he's, like, piss it away. I don't care. Yeah. Your little one-man army on crime. Go fuck yourself. But he can't walk away from it also.
Right.
Like, and he's a drunk.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting take on Alfred that I was like, I would love to see more of this.
And you also saw Alfred, like, outside of the shirt and coattails, too.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a point where you see him in a t-shirt. He's got the glasses.
Yeah, he's, like, working on the car.
Disheveled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not the clean cut.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Not the Alfred Grohl.
Yeah.
Alfred that you've seen in all of those movies.
Right.
But
I liked Andy, what was it?
Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved him. Because I felt like this is believable too.
Yeah.
He's going to teach him how to fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I almost played back a little bit to Pennyworth.
Yeah.
I got that vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is Pennyworth. This is Alfred growing up.
Yeah.
Older. You
Yeah.
know? But like that scene in the hospital with him.
Yeah.
It was a great scene.
It was.
There's so many good things in that movie.
Right.
It was just too fucking long.
It's very slow.
Yeah.
It's very Andor-ish in how it moves.
Yeah. But
worth it at the end.
But there's some really good stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see more of that Alfred.
Yeah.
I mean, he was not necessarily the mastermind behind everything, but kind of tutor.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I liked it. Even like the breakfast part.
Yeah.
You get berries. I like how I like the breakfast that he's serving.
Right.
I really like this Alfred.
Yeah.
I dug him. I've never watched that. I don't think I've watched that movie since.
I've watched it one more time.
Yeah. I don't think I have. It's just, it's good. It's just long.
Yeah. It's slow. It's not long. Because I can sit through a long movie. It's slow.
Yeah.
It's slow in its pacing.
Yeah.
And that's deliberate. And I understand that. But it's just like, it's not what you're used to with a Batman movie. And like a Batman movie has like, scene 1, scene 2, action scene. Scene 1, scene 2, action scene. This is scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, action scene. Like
right.
it takes them, and but like Matt Reeves, when he talked about it, he's like, I want to bring it back to its roots of, he's a detective.
Yeah, right.
Which is what they were doing in a lot of ways.
All right, right.
Oh,
they did.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like even like the Nolan movies, like he's never a detective. He's not that smart.
All right, all right.
Like he's always reacting. He's not, he's never ahead of the game.
Yeah. The only time he's ever ahead of the game is when he's Bruce Wayne inside of the office.
Yeah. Yeah, that he is. But like against any of the villains, he's always like a step behind or 2 steps behind even.
Yeah.
And it's an interest, like we're like, it's that old saying of like, well, with X amount of prep time, Batman could beat anybody. Like I don't feel like this Batman could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I can give all the prep time in the world. He ain't beating shit.
Yeah.
So it's that odd thing of like Nolan's Batman, for as good as it is, he's kind of dumb.
Yeah. And also in this, Falcone in the new Batman was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, John Turturro was fantastic.
Like,
I'm even
really
looking forward to the Penguin
fucking
series.
Good. Like, I was like, I know he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I do. Outside of Transformers.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was even good in Transformers. He played the part.
Yeah.
The part that he was given.
Yeah.
He owned it.
Right.
And you watched him when he was on screen.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. He definitely had your attention.
Yeah. No, he did. But, like, people forget he was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He was in a number of movies. And all of a sudden, like, he came into this. I was like, oh, yeah, he's doing this. And I'm like, and after I saw it, I was like, wow, this is brilliant, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's like, there were so many, like, shine moments in that movie.
Yeah.
But not Batman. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not saying that his acting was bad, because it was good.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not saying that he got outshined. I'm just saying that the things that I remember from that Batman movie were Turturro, Penguin, Alfred. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, those are the things, those are the takeaways for me.
Yeah.
Which is okay. You know, it's... Batman never really... It always seems to be the surrounding characters.
And that's the problem with most Batman movies.
You know? You'd expect Batman to command a stance, you know?
Right.
And he doesn't. The only person I've ever really seen do that is probably Keaton and Affleck.
Well, I feel like even Keaton gets overshadowed by the Joker.
Well, sure.
Like, and it's tough because, I mean, it's Nicholson. I get that. But
Affleck, he was main focused and centered. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but like in the two movies you get Affleck in. Like in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, he is the center. Like, his actions are what is propelling a lot of that movie.
Yeah.
Like, Superman, like, Henry Cavill, as good as Henry Cavill is as Superman, as much as we love Henry Cavill as Superman, he's got very little to say in that movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not much, like, Superman shows up now and again, and you get a little bit here and there, but overall, it is Affleck's movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you get him in Justice League, and he's front and center because he's the guy who's kind of leading the charge.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's the one doing the recruiting, and he, you know, so the villain, and I mean, in all honesty, like, even in, like, Zack Snyder's Justice League, the villain isn't, like, that interesting.
Right.
Like, the villain behind that villain is more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, Darkseid is like, you're like, oh, shit, you know. But, like, Steppenwolf, I was like, man, I know what you are. You're a lackey.
Right.
You know, you may be his uncle, but you're his lackey. You know.
If it was the Steppenwolf that was in Themyscira, the whole movie,
Yeah.
it'd have been a lot better. But it wasn't.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, those fight scenes
Yeah.
what am I, fucking Mickey?
Yeah.
They was great. They were good. They were great scenes.
Yeah.
That whole fight scene, the horses and people dying and him fucking killing everybody. I loved that. You know, I did. But then it was just kind of like, like the whole Aquaman thing just like was like, all right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. When he went to go get the box and shit. Whatever.
Yeah, so. But speaking of that, apparently Ben Affleck has said he will not be directing anything for DC anytime soon.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Well, like James Gunn came out, he's like, well, because when he did that announcement, he's talking about, and as far as Ben Affleck goes, I'd really like to work with him. We're talking to him about doing something, and I think they're like, yeah, no, not one of the parts of it.
Yeah, good for him. I get it.
Well,
Really interested in that.
Oh, the Air.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was phenomenal. But like
I hope it's like. I hope it's so superb.
Yeah.
I doubt it will be, but you never know.
I mean, he's a very good director.
Yeah.
He is. He honestly is. I mean, the man's won an Academy Award for directing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I feel like it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
But like, it's that thing of like, after he did Daredevil, he kind of like, yeah, I think I'm done with superhero movies.
Yeah.
And I got that. Like, I mean, that was a turd. It was a turd and a half.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie. There's not much you can redeem in that movie.
Uh-huh.
So I got that. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. He gave it a shot, But he loves those characters. Like, he's a legitimately a comic book guy.
He is. He's a nerd.
He's a nerd. And so, like, I know, like, when it came around and they're like, yeah, we want you to be Batman. He's like, oh, man. My dream role.
Exactly. How do you turn that down?
How do you turn that down?
Yeah.
Like, even at 45, you gotta be like, you want me to
It's
play...
like going to Kevin Smith and saying, hey, you want to be Mordok? I'm just
Yeah. Like, but like, so it had to have been like for him, and he gets in there and it's a clusterfuck of a situation all around, and you get burned again. So I could see where he'd be like, I don't think it was like a slight to James Gunn, which a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you tell him Ben Affleck, you fucking tell. I think it was more along the lines of he's like, you know what? I got burned twice doing this superhero bullshit, and I'll just stick to reading the books.
Did you see that? Did you see that basketball movie he was in? Did we talk about that?
No, I never saw it.
Oh, you talk about amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
I heard it's very good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was like, damn. You should watch that.
I'll have to look it up. Because I like Affleck. I'll watch him, in damn near anything.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's a good actor.
And that's the funny thing. Like, it's like it kind of gets overlooked. Like, he is a very good actor.
Oh man.
Like, I mean, it's that odd thing of like I don't understand. Like he is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying he's great. He's not like friend of the show Matt Damon.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, Matt Damon hasn't really. I mean, I don't know how to put this. Matt Damon hasn't really gone on that independent level, as far as I know, acting gigs. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, Dogma.
That's not independent.
That was independent.
Yeah, but it is. But it's he didn't have the. I mean, he had a big role, but it wasn't like he wasn't main focus and center of that movie.
No. No, but I mean,
think of the movies he's done, for Christ's sakes. The Bourne series.
Yeah.
A lot of action.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
well let's take a look at...
Affleck did Reindeer. But also, Affleck also did that pilot, that airplane thing.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, let's do this. Let's
compare.
Let's take a look at good friend Matt Damon.
And I'll look up Affleck. I could be completely off base.
So.
Uncomfortable silence.
Yeah, as we're pulling this information up.
Yeah. Why would I want a photo of Ben Affleck?
Yeah. All right, so I mean, Affleck's breakout role, or not Affleck, Matty Damon.
Yeah.
His first big break is School Ties with Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't have like a really big role.
I can't get anything on Affleck. Go ahead.
Really, until Good Will Hunting,
Right.
97.
Right.
And he's in Saving Private Ryan for 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Rounders,
Which I did not like.
Dogma,
Rounders.
yeah, The Talented Mr. Ripley,
Okay.
Titan AE,
Yeah.
which is, by the way, a very underrated gem.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I love Titan AE.
Yeah.
The Legend of Bagger Vance, which, Finding Forrester, All the Pretty Horses, Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. And then comes Ocean's 11 in 2001.
Ocean's 11's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And The Majestic. Born Identity is 2002. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Stuck on You, if you remember that one.
Yeah. That's a good movie.
Born Supremacy, Ocean's 12.
Yeah.
The Brothers Grimm, which is like a dud.
Still an action movie.
Yeah. Syriana. The Departed. The Good Shepherd. Ocean's 13. Born Ultimatum. Che Part 2. The Informant, which is a very good movie. Invictus. Green Zone. True Grit. The Adjustment Bureau. Contagion. We Bought a Zoo.
That was like, I will go a little bit on the independent side with I Bought a Zoo. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're looking at his movies in a general column, I Bought a Zoo's kind of over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a good movie.
Like, I guess the question like becomes like, what do you consider like independent?
Well, I'm looking at Affleck's stuff,
Yeah.
not Maddie's stuff.
Right.
They
but,
took like two different paths, is what I'm saying.
But did they really?
Look up Affleck.
Well, I mean, like, when I think of Affleck, like, I'm thinking of like Armageddon.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he hasn't been in his share, but I think Affleck's been in more. What am I trying to say?
More serious roles?
Independent acting chops versus Maddie. You know what I'm saying? We're sitting here deciding, well, not deciding, but we're saying, Ben Affleck's a good actor.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it is true, but it's also because of the movies that he chooses to do outside of Reindeer Games.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, he had to break, like, okay, so he's in School Ties where he plays a bully.
Yeah.
Dazed and Confused, he plays a bully.
Yeah.
Glory Days, he plays a bully. Mallrats, he plays a bully. It's not until Chasing Amy that he kind of breaks that. And, like, Kevin Smith admits, like, the reason he chose Affleck for that is because he thought he was a phenomenal actor and needed to break out of that stereotype.
But he broke out of that.
Right. Good Will Hunting. Phantoms. Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
Yeah.
But then you get Armageddon. Shakespeare in Love. 200 Cigarettes. Forces of Nature. Dogma. Boiler Room. Which is a great movie. Like, even Vin Diesel's good in that.
Yeah,
Reindeer Games. Bounce. Pearl Harbor. Changing Lanes. The Sum of All Fears.
That was a good movie.
That was a great movie, but, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody liked it but you and I.
Yeah.
Daredevil. Geely.
Oh, I forgot about Geely.
Yeah. Payback. Jersey Girl. Surviving Christmas. Man About Town. Like, here's, like this is probably his most, like, Hollywood land.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that he's in Smoking Aces. Like there was a period where, like, Ben Affleck was doing almost nothing but, like, action-style movies.
Keep going.
Like, yeah, as you get further up, you know, like, State of Play, Extract, The Company Men, The Town, Argo,
that's what I was thinking.
Gone Girl, the DC movies, The Accountant. The Way Back, which is the one you're talking about. The Last Thing He Wanted. The Last Duel, which I've always wanted to see and never saw. I need to look that up. Deep Water. Hypnotic, which I've never heard of. And Air is his latest one.
What's upcoming? Anything?
Well, The Flash.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently he's also in Aquaman The Lost Kingdom.
Yeah.
An Untitled Accountant sequel.
Really?
Yeah. Witness for the Prosecution, Ghost Army, Falling to Earth, and Am I Still Alive?
What do you think about him as Ghost Rider?
Affleck?
Sure.
No.
Who do you want as Ghost Rider?
I don't know.
Like, I don't even think they should make it.
I agree.
Huh?
I agree with
I
that.
don't think it's a property that should be even invested in.
Yeah. I just don't
I think it's too hard to tell the tale. And I don't know. I don't know how you can tell the story and have it be a standalone story by itself.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe as a TV show, one-off, like Maximum, like Wanda, or something like that. But I don't see it being like a feature film.
Okay.
I just don't see it happening.
I think the struggle is like where, like, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but like the struggle is where does it fit in?
Yeah.
Because like even in the Marvel comic book universe, like Ghost Rider really doesn't fit in. He's there,
right?
I mean, he showed up in Secret Wars 2 to give the Beyonder the Pendant Stare, and it did shit. Right. So I mean, like it's that odd thing of like. And even, like, I remember that, like, people were like, oh, I've only heard rumor of this motherfucker,
Right.
So, it's that odd...
It's funny.
Yeah, it is. It's like they were like, look, it's Ghost Rider.
I think that's Ghost Rider.
Is that motherfucker I hear about?
Don't look at his face.
Yeah. Yeah, Ghost Rider gets the Pendant Stare and the Beyonder shakes it off. Like, oh, shit.
Oh, it's the most powerful, one of the most powerful beings in the whole universe.
Yeah, I get that, but still, shook it off. So like it's like, so it's like even like the Marvel comic book universe, he doesn't really fit in.
Right.
Like nobody's like going, you know who we need to call? Ghost Rider.
I know. No one's saying that.
No.
No one's like, hey, get Ghost Rider on the phone.
Yeah. Do we know where his location is?
That's like saying,
does S.H.I.E.L.D. have him?
That's like saying, can you find Gleek for me?
Yeah.
Nobody wants Ghost Rider.
No.
He smells like sulfur.
Sulfur all the fucking time.
He's
The room temperature goes up 15 degrees when he walks in because of his fucking flaming head.
Sunburn every time I'm near him.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is like an odd thing of
Same
like...
thing with Firestarter. Oh, she's not real.
Yeah.
Wasn't that her name, Firestarter?
Yeah. Yeah.
The made-up Marvel character that never even made it into a book, I don't think.
She should be in a Deadpool movie.
Out of all, like, they create this cartoon, which I love the fucking cartoon. I'm not
Spider-Man is Amazing Friends.
I was addicted as a kid. I fucking loved it.
Oh, yeah. You get Stan Lee doing the voiceover.
Oh, I fucking loved it. It was fucking great.
Yeah.
But you have all these fucking characters, and you had to make up a chick.
Yeah.
You have all these women.
Yeah.
All of them. All of them. There's a ton of...
Couldn't give me fucking Kitty Pryde?
Women superheroes.
Yeah.
And you made her up?
Yeah.
Come on. Child, please. My favorite one. My favorite episode. It's the best one for me.
Okay.
Is when they were going to the Halloween party.
I vaguely remember this.
Oh, you gotta look it up. So I'm pretty sure Goblin's in this, but
yeah,
they all get invited to the Halloween party. Even the dog, I think that was the worst part of that show. Fucking Los Ops or whatever the fuck it was. They all get invited to the Halloween party.
Yeah,
and they go to the Halloween party, and of course, what's Pete gonna go as?
He's
gonna go fucking Spider-Man
because he's cheap.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's dancing to that crazy 80s music, you know?
Yeah.
There's fucking Pete. There's a guy in a Hulk mask.
Yeah.
And there's a fucking Captain America mask. They're like all Marvel characters, but they all have masks on. It's the best. It is the best. I love that one. But I watched the shit out of that show. I did.
The thing I always loved is like Peter Parker... The motherfucker so poor he couldn't afford cold medicine half the time.
Yeah.
Living with his Aunt May. But yet somehow had this uber sophisticated computer system that would like come out from underneath the floor and shit.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck did this shit come from, Pete?
Right.
You know.
I love the way they depicted Pete in the new Spider-Man. The hand-me-down shit he picked out of the dumpster.
Yeah.
All this crap. The only thing I didn't get was Aunt May's place was Bomb Squad. I don't know. That was a nice place. It wasn't bad.
No.
It wasn't like she was living in the ghetto or anything.
Right, but it wasn't like upper crust either.
No. But at the same point, it was in New York in a big high rise. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't exactly... I'd say medium level.
Hold on. Now, here's the thing that you're getting this a little confused.
No, I'm not talking about Happy's place.
Okay, because like Happy's place is like, that was high end, yeah.
I'm talking about her place. It wasn't... I mean, I've been...
Yeah. I mean...
to 2-bedroom apartments in New York City.
Right.
In Brooklyn.
Right.
They don't look like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and he's in Queens.
Huh?
He's in Queens.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I didn't think it was like anything extravagant. I could see her affording something like that.
I know Queens. What I'm saying is, like, it's still...
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
No, but it wasn't like affluent. I wasn't sitting there going like, you know, how the fuck's Aunt May affording this? You know, she turning tricks on the side?
She's not turning tricks.
She got an OnlyFans?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, okay. You know. Pete, stay in your room. Aunt May's going to work.
I think the more believable of Parker was probably in damn, I'm getting my Peter Parker movies mixed up.
The Tobey Maguire one?
I think so.
Yeah.
That was the house with the little fence, taking out the garbage and seeing her. Yeah. That was the more believable home to me.
Yeah.
For me.
Right.
That was more believable.
Right.
It's funny how you can pick things out and say, hey, if they would have put this here and this here and this here and this here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have made sense.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. I know you didn't watch the Oscars.
Right.
But I'm sure you read news on the Oscars.
I saw a little bit.
Come on, Brendan Fraser winning the Oscar. Come on.
Yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
That's good shit.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. You know.
It is good for him.
Yeah.
I love Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I mean, I love Brendan Fraser, too. Good guy. I got nothing bad to say about him.
No. I was just...
Yeah.
I was happy he won the Oscar.
Yeah, I'm happy he got recognized.
I mean, I think it's a personal thing because I just always loved him and everything that he was in.
Yeah.
Even George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
And all that shit. But I'm just glad he won.
Yeah.
Because I think he's just a good actor who got caught up in the shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hurt him fucking self because he's not The Rock.
Yeah.
Or whoever you want to pick.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm glad he won. And I'm also glad that fucking... This is going to sound terrible. I don't know his name. I can't remember. But Data won.
Yeah, short round.
Short round.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And an amazing story.
Right, it is. No, it is.
Came over here on a boat, man.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Yeah. No, I agree with
And
you.
he
Like,
goes in, and his acting career was dead for so long.
Right.
And he could not get a job.
Right.
The classic, childhood actor that never went beyond
Yeah. Yeah.
point B. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Corey Feldman, you name the people.
Right.
And this guy's, got an Oscar. That's incredible.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, there was, even Jamie Lee Curtis winning.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
All her genre movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she pulls this out.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck. That was incredible as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed by that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I still think she should have been nominated for the one with her and Travolta about aerobics.
Oh, shit.
But... going back in the day.
I can't remember the name of the movie.
Oh, it doesn't matter what the name of that piece of shit was. The whole thing where Travolta's just thrusting his junk forward.
Oh,
and
the
everything.
whole...
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember... I cannot remember the name of that movie. I've seen it.
Yeah, I watched it for Jamie Lee Curtis.
Of course.
Of course. I mean,
Well, that's not why I watch Trading Spaces, but...
that was why I watched Trading Spaces.
Yeah. That was another hobo movie.
Oh, yeah.
But what a great fucking film.
Yo, amazing.
No.
I gotta look it up.
What is the name of that movie? I cannot remember the name of that movie.
Let's go back. This is the Wayback Machine here.
You looking up Travolta?
No, look up Jamie Lee Curtis. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was a cameraman or something. A photographer?
A female aerobics instructor meets a male reporter doing a story on health clubs, but it isn't love at first sight.
What was the movie with Twist of Fate? Remember that?
Twist of Fate?
Remember that terrible movie? With Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She did some terrible movies, but her songs always went to number one fucking after that movie. Xanadu. That was a terrible film.
Oh, it is. It's terrible. I love it.
But
I love it because it's terrible, though.
Right.
And then you throw in the fact that, that was Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah.
And Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah. It's funny, at the Oscars, I'm sure you read about this, but Travolta did them in memoriam.
Yeah.
And, I was not connecting the dots, right?
Yeah.
So Travolta gets up there and he starts talking. He's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he started to break down. I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck's wrong with you? And then, like, all of a sudden I got it, right? Olivia Newton-John. And I'm like, and he's like, dude, tearing up.
Yeah.
Like, the rosacea's coming out.
Yeah.
He's fucking old, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like older than people think he is.
Yeah.
He's old.
Yeah.
And, like, he's fucking tearing up, and I could barely understand him. And I'm like, oh, okay, Olivia Newton. But I forgot Christy Alley died this year, too.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So he lost both of them in,
Yeah.
like, a matter of a year.
Yeah.
And I know he was close to Olivia Newton-John, and I know he was close to Christy Alley.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, why would you pick him to do the In Memoriam?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. You know what I mean? But the cool part was, about the In Memoriam, did you hear about anything?
No.
You know who did it?
No.
Cool-ass Lenny Kravitz, dude, on piano.
Nice.
That's badass.
That
dude.
is.
I'm serious.
I love
Lenny Kravitz is fucking... That guy's untouchable.
He is.
You know what I mean?
Like
it's so weird.
Here's the amazing thing. Like, Lisa Bonet is so fucking batshit crazy that neither Lenny Kravitz or fucking Aquaman could tame her.
Yeah.
Like, like, what is like?
How do you let, like, seriously,
Jason Momoa and Lenny Kravitz
go? How do you let them go, dude?
Yeah. Like, how do you step up from that?
Yeah, you can't.
You can't. Like,
Archie Bunker.
yeah.
I mean, that's what's coming. Like, because you cannot, like... that is, like... I don't know. Like... I keep saying, like... The two... Maybe the coolest people on Earth right now. You know?
Right. On top of the fact that you know Lenny Kravitz is a little freaky deaky.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm pretty sure Lisa Bonet is very freaky deaky.
You're right.
So, and then you throw in Momoa, who's apparently probably a bit freaky deaky. And, like, it's like, both of these guys are tapping out.
Right. Maybe Lenny Kravitz and Momoa should get together.
And they have a brotherhood. Like, they're like, like, I heard Momoa talk about, like, we have rings, that cement our bond. Like, we love each other. Like Momoa was, like, all in on Lenny Kravitz. I think, like, Lisa Bonet was like, you want to fuck Lenny? Because we can make that happen. But, I mean, like, Momoa and Lenny Kravitz have, like, a very tight bond. And that bond is, like, we both tried to tame the same horse and couldn't.
Lenny... I let Lenny mount me last night.
Yeah.
Yeah! What do you think about that, Lise? Yeah. Huh? He mounted me. Oh, yeah. But that's crazy.
It is.
How do you let the two of those guys go?
Yeah.
I mean... Lenny Kravitz is probably one of the coolest musicians that ever lived.
Quite possibly, yes.
Yeah. And, like, he's sort of fading away a little bit, but at one time, Lenny Kravitz almost had Prince status.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was there. I mean, I think he still does in the musical community. I mean, people respect his music.
Oh, yeah.
He's a phenomenal musician.
Yeah.
And then on the flip tail of that coin, you got Momoa. He's like Hollywood's number one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's badass.
Yeah. He's a guy whose phone is ringing.
Yeah.
And
he's, like, built like he's a brick house, dude. I mean, like, he's fucking... He's
that meme picture of, like, where, like, he was, like, surrounded by bodyguards. And he was, like, bigger than all of them combined.
Right.
It's like, does this guy really need bodyguards? And you're just here for target practice.
Yeah. He's like The Rock without the baldness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this guy is, like... But he's, like... it's funny about Momoa is, like, between The Rock and Momoa, Momoa is, like, this, like, spiritual guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I hope he's like that in real life. I mean, like, if you met him. I
feel like he is. Because like if you look at some of the other projects, like C, and some of the other stuff he's done, he does seem like a like he's very invested in like that Pacific Island culture.
Yeah.
He seems very invested in like that spirituality and stuff like that. Like
yeah, but I
get
like,
that. I get that vibe from whenever I see him.
Yeah, I hope he's like that in real life.
Yeah.
You know, The Rock, on the other hand, you know, I don't think he's like that. I mean, I think he is invested in his culture.
Yeah, he is. He very much is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's also like, he's Dwayne.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, the guy just, you know.
He's still in the ring.
He's the guy who, like, you know, yeah, I've made enough money that I can buy my own football league.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
But like I said, I don't know how you let those two guys go.
Yeah.
I mean, what's next for you?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get bigger, so you got to go down to like, I don't know.
My phone's ringing. You know, like, you know, I've had fit and in shape and, you know, all the things you want from a masculine man. I'm ready to go with a slob like you, Sean. Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to recover.
No. Like maybe like in a couple more years, but like I can't like right now. I mean, it's like he's too toxic.
Yeah.
Like even now, he's still like a year later, he's still too toxic.
He is. And what's his name was all over his ass the entire show.
Yeah.
Kimmel was on his ass the entire show.
Oh, I'm sure. Because I mean, what's the one thing I can't tell you who won any awards from last year, but I can tell you Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. You know what I mean? Like, that's the funny thing about award shows. Like, I can't tell you who won jack shit from any of them.
Yeah.
But I can tell you Will Smith slapped Chris Rock last year at the Oscars.
Kimmel was relentless on
I'm sure.
Like, relentless.
Yeah.
Like, truly, it was crazy. I was like, holy shit, did he just say that?
Yeah.
A couple times.
Yeah.
I like Jimmy Kimmel. But when he said the shit that he said, I was like, man. Did you watch that Rock special?
No.
No? You need to. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I need to sit down and watch that maybe tomorrow after the Pitt game.
Who are we playing tomorrow?
Xavier.
Where are they ranked?
Well, they're a number 3 seed.
Oh, shit.
But it's like that thing of like if Pitt can get hot, they're hard to beat.
Yeah.
Like the problem is Pitt lives and dies by the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like they play that style of basketball. They're not a big, like, I'm used to Pitt basketball being physical. I'm used to Pitt basketball being like, you know, you take it to the rim. You pass it to the inside. You play the pick and roll. All that. These guys are just bombs away. You know.
Yeah.
And it's something Pitt hasn't had in a very, very long time. Now the other side of that though is the man who walks the sidelines for Xavier is Sean Miller.
Okay.
Sean Miller was the point guard for Pitt in the 80s. Sean Miller was the man who threw the pass to Jerome Lane when he broke the backboard.
Okay.
You know, like that's Sean Miller was an old school Pitt man. I've always wanted Sean Miller to come home.
Yeah.
Like when he got fired from Arizona, I was like, now is the opportunity, Pitt. Now is the time to bring Sean Miller home. And he went back to Xavier. And I wish Sean Miller would come because he's a phenomenal coach. But like, I feel like it's like I wouldn't bet on the game, but I do feel like it's a winnable. It's still like a winnable game for Pitt. I feel, and like this has already been a successful tournament for them. They got stuck in the play-in game. They win that. They beat Iowa State handily, like embarrassed Iowa State, and Iowa State embarrassed themselves.
Yeah.
In that game, like I mean, they barely scored a point a minute.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Right.
You know, so I feel like right off the bat, like you've won 2 games in the tournament. That's a successful year right off the bat for you.
Right.
You know, beating Xavier, getting to the second week, that's icing on the cake. But I feel like it's a winnable game. Like Xavier doesn't scare me.
Okay.
But if they come out and they're not shooting well, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Okay.
So remember, there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. You can send us an email. That email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. We're very, very easy to find. And lastly, as always, rewind it. God, I'm all screwed up today. Yeah. You can also find us on a number of podcasting networks. We are on the Pod Breed Network, the Pod... Good. Weeby Geeks, Pod Breed, and I can't remember what the third one. Oh my god. Anyway, we're on networks. I'm just gonna wrap it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tangent Bound.
Tangent Bound, yes. Thank you. Tangent Bound Network. Tangent Bound Network, Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Give them a Google search and you'll find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, we want to thank you, dear listener, for checking us out each and every week. Be a friend, tell a friend if they're into our hijinks and or shenanigans. We can't thank you enough for enjoying it, though. And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.